Howdy, I'm the tech drover. I don't herd cattle, I herd code. And sometimes that's more stubborn. I'm sitting out here in this beautiful Colorado park, so you might hear birds, wind, people going by. I see a slight glitch in the video as I edit a truck going by out. But if you're looking for a feel-good pep talk, you might be in the wrong place. This channel ain't about buzzwords. It's about making tech work like it's supposed to. After years of herding digital cattle, startups, code bases, dev teams, figured it was time to say what everybody's thinking, but no one says out loud. Tech is amazing when it works. But most of it, it's over-engineered, under-delivered, and it's sold like snake oil. Having tech causes problems, but it sucks less than not having tech. It's kind of like plumbing. You don't notice it until you got a problem, then you're hip deep in regret. Technology is everywhere. It's in our phones, it's in our pockets, it's in our TVs. Even places we never think about, like water treatment plants, power grids. You may not see it, but it's there every day. Without it, life as we know it would get really tough. And face it, most of us wouldn't last a week without Wi-Fi. But for something so essential, it sure can be terrible sometimes. We've all been there, a clumpy app, a confusing interface, something that crashes at the worst possible moment. And it's not just a consumer thing. Businesses suffer too, from bad apps, internal dev teams that miss the mark, that costs money, waste money, loses customers, and the worst part is, if you don't watch out, it's going to happen. And we accept this, like it's normal, like that's the way it's supposed to be. So that's where a tech drover comes in. Historically, a drover was someone who moved cattle or sheep from one place to another. Think a tech drover and doing the same thing, trying to move tech from where it is to where it should be, where it works and provides value. I'm not here to hand out one-size-fits-all solutions. I'm not here to talk about buzzwords or the latest article of what you should be doing. I'm here to spark conversations. I want to get developers, project managers, product managers, stakeholders, businesses thinking and talking about how to make their tech better. We want to reconnect with why we're doing tech in the first place. That's to deliver value to people, to make money, and to improve people's lives. So why should you be listening to me? Well, I have decades of hands-on experience. I've built teams, turned teams around, delivered commercial products in a variety of industries. I've built new products, fixed products. I've managed products that brought in over $100 million a year in revenue. I've written over 100,000 lines of code for mobile, for back end, for web. I'm an engineer who's been there, done that. I've stood in the backcountry with a GPS and dying cell signal trying to test a new feature because things have to work in the real world. You can't just test them in your lab. You got to test them where they're going to be used. I've seen teams get stuck in digital quicksand, get buried under bloated frameworks and processes. So now I'm the tech drover. I'm here to get technology teams to move from what were we thinking to why didn't we do this sooner. With a little grit, bit of humor, and a whole lot of experience, we'll drive your tech in the right direction. Cleaner, faster, and more usable. Some of the ideas shared here you'll agree with, some you won't. And that's kind of the point. This isn't to give you solutions. This is to get you thinking. Thinking about what you're doing, how it could be better, and delivering better products faster. Some of the bad things I've seen in code, if you've seen some of these or you've been part of them, don't admit it. Nobody wants to admit that they were part of this. Pinball code and mobile apps. Going from one method to another, each only a line or two of code. Boy, that was hard to get through. You had to run it and trace through it just to see what was really going on. Complicated services with multiple off-the-shelf products. It was like a data scavenger hunt. Instead of just writing a service to go get the data, it went from machine to machine to machine to machine and then back. And this was a multi-billion-dollar insurance company. They would go weeks without being able to print a bill to get their revenue. They'd do a financial reconciliation and be $800,000 off. Man, if I'd been in charge of that, people would have been fired. So let's talk about smart TVs, those apps. Man, you turn on your TV, you're trying to do something, it starts playing stuff you didn't want instead of playing the thing you asked for, you know? And the one app, you push the pause button on your remote, it doesn't pause. It brings up a menu so you can pause. Just pause. I don't know who thinks of this stuff. Agile teams that follow their process, their scrums religiously, using Fibonacci points to size their work in a sprint. Seen one team that followed this religiously, delivered incoherent junk. I mean, it was totally unusable. It never got a customer. You know, their cattle drive started out great, but ended up going over a cliff. They could have used a drover. I bet you got your own examples and pet peeves. You know, whether it's processes, technology, management. You know, so you got to remember your customer, who you're doing it for and why. Customers don't care about your buzzwords. They don't care how elegant your code is. They just want it to work and work well. So keep that focus. So if you're into thoughtful, occasionally funny, you know, outdoor recorded with occasional bugs, sounds, birds, planes flying over, you know, stick around. I'm going to do this, you know, once a week, whenever I feel like it or I have time. So join me next time. Next time we're going to talk about IP. So until then, if your tech's gone off the rails, call a drover. I wrangle messes into momentum.